Welcome to Hice Productions. It is draft night, June 28th at Hice Productions. Please hit the like, subscribe. We'd muchly appreciate it. Well, let's get to it. It's all about the Habs' 5th pick in the first round. Now, there's a lot of movement. We knew that was going to happen. But I want you to go back to my episode 35 with what I projected. And there was two names I projected. I gave who I favored out of the two, but I gave what I feared of the two. Go see what I said in episode 35. My greatest fear came to life, other than the Pierre-Luc Dubois thing. This is not as bad as the Pierre-Luc Dubois thing, but we missed out. What the hell were we thinking? And it's nothing against Randbacker, who we drafted at number 5. Well, we knew that Bedard was going to go 1. We got a little bit of a surprise. I'm not that shocked because I like Leo Carlson, that he went number 2. I think Anaheim actually did the right thing. That's my personal opinion. I think he's a smarter player. And then Fantilli went 3, so he dropped 1 spot. So we knew there was going to be there could be a little bit of mix, but nothing major. And Will Smith, of course, did go at number 4 to the Sharks. We expected that. And Montreal has their number 5. And because of stupid pride, or whatever the hell it is, how do you skip over a generational player? Give me a break. Why do they think Stevie Y is so rewarded and so intelligent and such a genius? Because he took chances. And really, this was not even that big of a chance. You know Michkov is coming to the NHL someday. There's no end ifs and buts about it. He wants to play with the best in the NHL. This was our chance to have our next Mats Naslund, or whatever you want to call it. You know, our next great. And what do? Oh, we better go safe. And it's not a knock against Rundbacker. I get it. They wanted to play it safe, and they went with the best defenseman of the draft. I get that. There's no knock. This kid could still turn out to be that. But you missed out on a generational player. You missed out on a generational player. There's no excuse for this. Now, only thing I could have said that you would have done worse was the Pierre-Luc Dubois thing. I'm shaking my head. What the hell were we thinking? We went by need again. And anytime you go drafting by need, you make a mistake. I said this in episode 35 that I was worried about this happening. And my God, my worst fears of what I was fearing came to life. So pretty damn depressed and saddened. Camp like Philadelphia, man, they must be just dancing in the streets in Philly because Michkov is going to light up that lineup when he does come. And I mean, we're at the beginning of a rebuild. There was no hurry for Michkov to come to the NHL. What were you thinking? And now I back Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon 99.9% of the time. This? I don't know where you got your advice. You should have taught. Maybe you needed a counseling session from Stevie Y or Armstrong. These are two characters, two really good GMs that get their organizations built up quickly. Why? Because they don't listen to the fear antics that the media puts out on certain players. We just made a huge mistake. Now, I understand what they were thinking. And, you know, we can see the future is written in stone, that it's going to be pretty much Gouli and Mailloux as the first pairing defenseman in the future. And then it's probably going to be Hudson. And this was the guy they went out and got for the right side, Reinbacher. And I feel bad because this is not this kid's fault. He's probably going to be a great defenseman. And I think let's hope he shows us all up. And like I say, I'm not knocking this kid. He was definitely the best, and I still say this kid is not on him. He just wasn't top five material. Uh, there's others that weren't even top 10 material that went in the top 10. This was a strange draft, and I gotta say, Gary Bettman, NHL, what a boring first round we watched tonight. Totally dead. You might want to start consulting with the NFL and the NBA to create some excitement. Because I guess, I was waiting for that big splash from the Habs. Big splash? Yeah, they dropped the ball. The splash is the ball hitting the water, going into the ocean. You dropped the ball. Now, thankfully, it's not a disaster like putting in a poison. This kid's not. He'll be a good defenseman. I gather that, and I say to Becker, keep your head up. This is not about you. This is about management gooping and going right to what Mark Bergevin did in drafting for need. You can't draft away. You draft for the best talent, the best player at the position. So I'm devastated. I what can I say? I'm crushed, and it's a major insult what happened tonight. I can only say I understand their thinking. Don't get me wrong. This solidifies, they wanted to solidify the right side, but we weren't in a crisis. You could have done that next year. You could have always, traded for a young defenseman. You weren't in a crisis. You were one guy short on the right side. One guy, not a crisis. We're in more of a crisis in the net. And you blew. That's why I'm a little against, nothing against the trade yesterday, but that's why I'm a little bit against how much we gave up for. We gave up too much for that trade. And that's not to say that that kid won't be good. I think he's a good player. Too small. I mean, what are we, we're talking about sizing up. I'd like to see where. But our offense needed a jolt. This was our perfect chance. Where's going to be our glorious opportunity now? Where? Tell me. Because it's evident we're making new hook with that trade, even though we paid, way overpaid. Got fleeced. He is a good player. I prefer that trade any day of the week over getting Pierre-Luc Dubois. I'll grant you that. Because this guy's got some heart, but he's too small. He wasn't what the doctor ordered. However, I could live with it. But two double whammies? So I guess this was the big splash, was the new hook trade yesterday. It did, instead of it coming on draft day, it came the day before. They should have saved it for today. At least we could have dealt with all this mess. But however, sorry, let's get behind Rambucker. I think he's going to be fine. I think our defense is going to be one of the best defenses in the league, next to teams like Colorado, who they have really juiced up their D in that first round tonight. Detroit has as well, solidifying things. Those two teams we're going to be up there with them. We're going to have some very good defense core. That I'll grant you. But we lost out on a generational player. And where we're trying to get into the playoffs, we have just missed. So I hope, Kent, you have, I like you and Jeff big time. I hope there's something up your sleeve, because you really missed out on a generational player. So let's pray to God they got something that we don't know about, because if this was any indication, this has been 2 days that I've been just wanting to get a box of Kleenex and cry at it. However, this one more so, because it was my greatest fear in the draft. And then again, yes, this kid's a very good defenseman. It's not a knock against him. It's a knock against the way we drafted for need instead of the best talent. So anyway, thank you for following. We're going to go. We'll probably have to come up with something once the draft is done. See what they have to do. I mean, we haven't got a draft till like 67th, I believe. That's a long ways off. I was hoping they were going to trade for something and get a little further up. But no, they didn't do that either. So major, and I think most of us Habs fans are disheartened tonight and disappointed. But again, I put my hand out to Renbucker and say, don't just ignore this. This is not against you. This is really against why Habs brass decide to do what previous brass do and draft for need instead of the top talent. Have we not learned from our mistakes? Doesn't look like we have. It doesn't look, although mind you, I don't think it's going to be the nightmare. It's just it kept us steps back. I don't know if we're ever going to crack at a generational player again. That's what my concern is. So anyway, that being said, try to keep your heads up, Habs fans. Thank you for joining me. Till the next episode. Where does the puck drop first? Tell your friends, family, pass on the word for Center Hice Productions, and join the family. Let me know your comments on how you felt tonight. I think most have. And then Carey Price. I think Carey Price was even devastated. He was like, "Are you really doing this?" I think that's what happened. He was in shock. So anyway, nothing on you, Carey. Maybe that put some light into the mood. Yeah, I don't hold it against you. Anyway, thank you. Tell your friends, family to join up. Be ready for the next episode because I'll probably be making something when this is second round. I will of the draft is done. Although I don't know if I can stay glued to it because this was just a boring first round. Anyway, thank you. Where's puck drop first? Here at Center Heights. God bless you all. See you in the next episode.